But as far as is the reach of this transcendental self, as far as is the reach of this transcendental being, that far is the reach of your true self. But this meditation this transcending perennial self is not to be realized by a weakling. It is realized by a certain strength. The strength wherewith one becomes a seer, one becomes a hearer, one becomes a contemplator, one becomes an enlightened knower, one becomes a realized being. It is by the strength of that meditation that the earth stays in its orbit. It is by the strength of that meditation that the skies stretch. It is by the strength of that meditation that the celestial regions are upheld, and the mountains and the beings of light and the human beings and the animals and the birds and the blades of grass and the plants and the moths and the worms and the ants all are sustained by a particle of the strength of the meditation of the divine transcendental being. Balam upasva, pursue strength. What strength? Not strength of an armor or a shield, which are the symbols of weakness. For if you wish to measure the extent of someone's fear, just look at the size of his gun. That is not strength, that is fear. These are words that flowed from the masters. It is not important as to in which century, because the same words can flow from you also, or ever fresh new ones, ever inspiring ones. If you know to dwell, sipping the particles, minute particles of the strength of the meditation of the transcendental self. For it is in the expansiveness, says the Rishi, that there is joy, comfort and pleasure. There is one single word used here for joy, comfort, and pleasure. Sukham. The expansiveness, the plenitude, revel and frolic in the plenitude of divinity. Learn to revel and frolic in the plenitude of divinity. Not be little miserly beings. Fighting over small particles of dust and sand. For in that divine transcendental being there are as many universes as there are number of particles of sand in the Sahara Desert and more. Have you counted the number of the particles of sand in the Sahara Desert? There are as many universes. And all of those universes, which the texts call Ananta Koti Brahmanda, countless myriad worlds, if you've read my book titled God, from the nail of the small toe of my mother who is your mother also, from the nail of the small toe of my mother emanate ten trillion rays of light. Each ray as brilliant as the light of 100,000 suns. Now, have you ever seen a beam of light through a little hole in the window and all the particles floating in it? In each particle floating, in each particle floating in one of those 10 trillion beams are countless myriad universes. Send your mind out there. Grasp it. Hold it. And know thereby the expansiveness of yourself. That is called the plenitude of divinity, for which the Vedic sages' word is Bhuma. You should know that word. Bhuma, B-H-U-M-A. P-H long U, M long A. Bhuma. Live by that. The plenitude of divinity as